User entered your channel.
What's going on?
What's up, man?
What's going on in this channel?
Not too much. Just hit 55 last night, so that shit's done. Just doing world bosses and whatnot.
Nice, man. You must have grind. What level did you start at last night?
I started at 54, 20%, so I did 80% of level 54 in like that one day, which is, yeah, it was a lot of hours. But it's 30% XP buff right now, so don't let that go to waste if you're thinking about grinding.
Yeah, I'm in no hurry. I'm trying not to let the game dictate my life, so I'm fighting against it. But yeah, it's a good 30%. Yesterday actually I just ran around and did contribution point stuff.
Yeah, I mean, I get being your own free agent, but it's like I knew I wanted to grind and get that level. I already had 20%, so that popped up. I was like, yep, I will take that.
Yeah, for sure. Did you stack it with scrolls and shit?
Oh, hell yeah.
Nice.
I was on scrolls like all damn day. Well, but I would I would wait till the grind group was flowing smoothly. There wasn't any PvP.
Oh, great.
And then even ideally wait for it to hit nighttime and then just bam, 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 everything stacked. And then that Sawson was by far the most productive.
Yeah, I heard you having some good fights. I was telling Bandito how impressed I was by your battle calling.
I appreciate that. I mean, you mentioned that. I was like, that was nice of him to say. I mean, I think that at best, I'm okay. But it's like when the group is working well, like that group was, it's easy. But then when it's not working, people aren't coordinating, aren't doing what they're even close to what they should be doing. I think as prone as anybody to start fucking getting flustered, frustrated, and flipping out on people.
That's a valid point. I mean, that's part of the skill of battle calling, is to fucking try to flip out on people the best way you can.
Right, that's what I think I don't do very well.
I don't know, man. You were doing pretty fucking good to me.
Well,
I was pretty impressed.
Thank you, but I mean, again, it was going very well. Like those guys were just, everybody was like on the same page, so it makes it easier.
Yeah, but people, even if it's going really well, there's some people that just don't fucking. It just, yeah. It goes further either way for me to see that than not to see it, I guess.
Oh yeah, that was super fun actually. I had a really good time with those guys.
Yeah.
Like they were, I was at Elric and they were at Sawson, and they were at a full group, and I was just doing this. I just figured I'd rather at that point in time was rather doing Elric anyway.
That's a good group though. They actually work pretty good when people work with them.
Yeah.
So.
And then they were getting into fights, and I was right nearby. Even I was in Kusha, unloading cultist tokens and refilling on pots, and they're like, "All right, fucking this guy's flagged up. Oh, get the Sork." And it's like I was like, I'll swing by. So I fucking just rode my horse charging in, jumped in, started fighting and shit.
Yeah, I heard you burned some tears or whatever, but did you figure out how that all works?
Not really, other than the person made a good point, is if I know what percentage that I'm at, and then if I see if it drops or not, but it doesn't seem like the game gives you any indication. It's like,
doesn't.
Forcefully slaughtered or unfairly killed by. It doesn't seem to make any difference, if they're, and then they weren't listed on our war list, and I don't have,
So I just wanted to say what I wanted to say during that whole thing, because I wanted to make sure that they were thorough, and it didn't seem like they're completely thorough, and maybe, I mean, I don't know of any indication of people being warred except for when you're fighting people, you'll see it pop up on the top of your screen, like a new war. So that's one thing. The other thing is that.
Yeah, but here's the thing. Yeah, I get that, but these people, this person is gillied, so I wouldn't know what clan they're in to begin with, or if they're just flagged up.
So when people are gilly, they actually blink red once in a while. That's something to pay attention to. Last but not least, and I know it's not that helpful, is that we can only be at war with, I think, 7 people at a time. So just knowing who we're at war with is good. However, on the other side of that, we're always at war with somebody new. So it it is really hard to fucking tell who we're at war with. But you can, if we start getting into those situations, kind of pop into clan real quick and look at the 7 people that we're at war with, and then if you see anything pop, it's a little muscle memory or whatever. But
Well, hold on. Oh, received. Okay, I've never even noticed that tab. There's a received, which that's where it's got to be then. Okay, right. So that's cool. But here's the thing: person is gillied. You don't get a name. You don't get a clan. How can you tell if they are flagged up, a PK and a negative karma, or a war target?
and there's no like no real way, which sucks.
Okay. Yeah, I didn't know.
So just knowing, just knowing the environment is what I'm presenting. Just knowing, who we're at war with, who we're not, and that knowing the most you can. But yeah, it's fucking kind of sucks. They, with a ghillie, they're hiding it no matter what. So it's like, it'd be great if we're at war with some. Well, if we're at war with someone and they don't, if they're red, yeah, that's weird. That's weird. But it would defeat the purpose, I guess, if they marked people with gillies. We're at war with them. So
I mean, they do in terms of making them red. It's just it doesn't differentiate that. I mean, it was funny. Like the other night at Elric, and this is my bad because I was just so late. And I was so tired. I wasn't even thinking. Like I'm just there grinding away at Elric, and somebody rolls up on me and just like nukes me down. I get the name X10. And I just, in my mind, like, I had just gotten PK'd. So I waited a second, and, I respawned using a tier, and I tried to put my pets away, and I think he saw my pets, he chased after me, and got me one more time, and I respawned using a tier again, and then this time I came back, potted up, came back and killed his ass. And only after all of that did I, like, scroll, because, like, how when you're scrolled up in chat, you don't see the thing that's most recent, even though you think you are, because you're still seeing it pop up.
Yep.
Only then did I see the whole thing of like, oh, it's a fucking war target. So like, I used tiers totally unnecessarily, and well, I mean,
yeah. When you die, you lose EXP like instantly. So when you come back into the screen, it doesn't take it away. It takes away once you die, like at that death.
Yeah, I know that, but the thing is, I don't religiously check the point that I'm at, so I don't always know if I lost or not.
Mm-hmm.
That's a challenge for me, but really,
yeah, it's just
interesting. Korean longswords.
What about the Korean longswords?
So she bought them in the special tab.
Oh god.
Actually, here's something interesting though. If there's Korea items. Just because I was like, fuck these things. Let me just see what happens. I melted a couple down, and then out of them I got pure silver crystals that are worth like 50 to 100k off an item that only sells for like 20k. I was like, okay, that's a possibility on those.
I think I melted down an Algerian set the other day and got those crystals.
No, Algerian gives you translucent crystals, which could be valuable, I guess, but the pure blank crystals are extremely valuable because they're like using the highest end crafting recipes, and you can only make them if you have processing professional 5 and gathering skilled 10 or better.
Gotcha.
So a lot of people will never get to that, so they end up being pretty valuable both as a raw component and even more valuable in the processed final good that you can make with them. Like the 500,000 fishing poles, they all take like pure blank crystals,
Yeah. So are you always sitting in this channel, or is there a reason today you're sitting in this channel?
Oh, just because so I hopped in the other channel, in Rage Quit, and I saw Bandito and Ariza talking, and Bandito's been hitting me up for a couple of days, like, yo, what's up? I'm like, oh, just doing this, that. He's like, all right, just talk later. And I was gonna jump in their channel, but then they were gone, so I jumped over here, and that's where they were. So I said, "What's up?"
Yeah, Bandito. Well, I'll say I'm kind of a little frustrated too, but I'm holding out. We were talking yesterday about clan again. It's getting ridiculous. I don't know. I had a few talks with Halo, and then later on I caught them talking shit about everybody except for their little clique. And then I fucking sent them a message. I said, "Oh, we're talking shit about everybody now. I thought me and you discussed how that was going." And yeah, it was kind of disheartening.
Why does it sound like your microphone is like in your pants or something? It sounds like you're like it's it's like in a pocket or something.
Oh god, it's not.
It's like it's either that or like just hardcore static is what it sounds like.
How about now?
Sounds fine.
It's okay now?
Yeah, perfect.
Oh yeah, one of my, it's the jack that I use, or the wire or something, and if it's in the wrong, it does that.
Huh. Well, there you go. That fixed it. So anyway,
it
was just I was able to hear most of what you said, but it was like I was missing a few words here and there. So you were saying he was talking shit. Can you elucidate on what that consists of?
Basically,
Like specifically?
it was like 2 weeks ago, a week ago. It was after I quit. I came back and had a long discussion with him about the toxic environment that was going around. Besides a few people like ODG Diamonds and that group, the group that I actually fucking dig. But basically it was AQA, LOL, Toku, Aerorain, a couple other guys. Yeah, Irja. They were all basically in a channel, and they were talking shit about the new people that we got in, and a few, and like full on, like I'm sure half of these guys are gonna leave. Half of them aren't worth it. Started talking about one girl has a lisp. Started fucking making fun of her.
So I'm confused. Are you talking about SK guys?
Some of the SK guys, some of the guys that have been around.
Okay, so then it couldn't have been a week or two ago because they just joined like.
No, right after I quit and joined back, which was like a week or something last week, like last Monday or Tuesday.
Okay.
But
okay,
it's just
gotcha.
it was after me and Warhalo had a discussion about, you know, his officer. I told him that some of his officers are completely incompetent, and basically in a long conversation about what needs to be, you know, how the environment is toxic and people keep leaving, and a lot of people are complaining about officers. We just had another person leave because one of their officers, Envy.
Yeah, I saw.
So it's like, and I got along with Envy pretty good. I mean,
yeah,
he's pretty nice to me, you know, pretty nice guy.
Yeah, I liked him a lot.
He fucking left because he couldn't stand. He said he couldn't stand Aziel, but there's other things that I'm sure were going on. He said he just felt like he wasn't participating with the clan. It was painful for him to log into TeamSpeak, which I'm kind of at that point right now where, I mean, I'm trying to like not play the game as much, but I fucking log in, I go on a channel, and I just hear Warhalo screaming about shit. Or like yesterday, it's just like yesterday, for instance. I got in, I listened to the meeting, I came to the meeting, was listening to the meeting, and at the end of the meeting he's like, okay, well, let's all go grind. And then all of a sudden he was like, no, we're going to do PvP. And then it's like, no, we're going to split the grind and the PvP. And I'm just kind of not giving the full detail. But then...
I was there in the meeting. I heard the whole thing.
Yeah, but then all of a sudden he's like, okay, I need to do these relic things right this second. Like,
you know, that's really a misrepresentation of what... It's like a real twisting of what... I'm not here to defend him, but I was there, and he was like, okay, let's do something after the meeting. We're all going to get together. We're all going to do something. And then he opened it up just like people are complaining, like, you know, give us the option. Don't just dictate what we do. So he said, all right, guys, what are you feeling? OG Diamond said, well, you know, man, there is this 30% buff. Would be nice to grind that. And then meanwhile, I'm in a group where we're already still grinding. Like, yeah, I mean, I could see fucking doing that too. And then somebody else said relics, and he's like, yeah, I do need to do relics. So it more evolved organically than him jumping all over the place and saying, oh, well, whatever I need to do, I'm going to do. Now, it's true, if he didn't have to do relics, would he have just said, no, let's get into something? He probably would have. But it's really a misrepresentation to say that he just said, oh, well, I want to do this, so this is what, we're going to split everything up. That happened, but it happened with every single person that voiced an opinion, except Sam, who was like, we could do a subjugation, and everybody's like,
Yeah, well, maybe we both got it a little wrong. I mean, I was just trying to explain the briefness of it, but a few players definitely agreed with me that it was kind of a twist. It was like all of a sudden we thought we were gonna go grind for a little bit, and
he never even said grind though. He never even said grind. He said PvP, and then it was talked about.
Yeah, and then OG Diamonds was like, well, anyway, it's not. We don't need to argue about it. I got a different representation than you. And I mean, to me, it was like, wow, it was a minor thing compared to like going and PvPing and having him scream and yell about stupid shit. And it was like, wow. Like, PvP with him is ridiculously terrible. I don't know. I've PvP'd with him about 4 or 5 times, and it's just been like, what the fuck? And then I went and watched some videos. But point being is that there are people jumping ship again. And I'm still holding out. I mean, I'm just laying low. I don't really jump with the crowd. But Bandito, man, he was talking about jumping ship. And then we started talking about you. And I said, well, I don't think Tom would jump ship because Tom, you've got a little group that you like. I know that. And I like those same people. But
I probably like more people than you think I like. I mean, I tend to get along with large groups. But it's like, thing is, like, one of the reasons I like the group is because there's always somebody on. It's like, if you're not on, like you said, you're not letting the game dictate, you're going to live your life, and that's fine and dandy. But it's like, if I'm going to play, let's look at our channel right now. Bandito is muted. Hydro, he's here, but is he here? You're not here. It's like, who am I playing with? It's like I'm playing alone, right? So it's nice to have a community, even if it is a fucking dysfunctional ass family. It's nice to have a group. And then, so think like something like, oh, okay, let's say we leave and join Envious's guild or whatever. It's like
that.
Why? Because you got issues with him?
No, but their ultimatums and their AQ might jump over there. The AQ is still back and forth. Irja's still back and forth. Irja wants to go over there, supposedly. There's all this talk, and it's funny how I get to hear it all. And then I hear it from Warhalo, and I hear it from Bandito, and I hear it from Centrifuge. And I just don't say anything about it unless it's to you or Bandito. I just kind of like lay low. But I don't know what's gonna happen. I think that the group you're talking about, I don't think it's a good fit. They're not really organized, and they're not really ready to lead other people, and that's why they jump ship. The reason they jump ship is they wanted Warhalo to make all the changes, which means that they weren't willing to work on things. And
I don't know, man. You have this tendency to do these like super, like, not just sweeping generalizations, but like just these monster broad strokes that probably don't cover like most of the subtleties in the actual situation, which I guess is okay if you're dealing with like
subtleties add up to something.
Yeah, but I just mean, like to put a cap on it that's just that, I don't know. I mean, you think you're the only one that hears stuff. I also hear stuff.
Oh, what do you hear?
No point even, I'm not gonna
what do you hear?
go into every little detail, nor do I care to. I'm not even talking about something specific. Just like you hear details, I hear details. Go ahead and tell me everything you hear, and I'll go ahead and tell you everything I hear. But until, we start that conversation, I mean, it's whatever. But I just don't care to get into every last detail with you. Not
every little detail, but I'm just curious what you're hearing. I mean, what's the state of the clan right now? What are people talking about? Are the new group that came in, are they happy? Are some of them going, what the hell did we just get into? I mean, what are you hearing? What's OG Diamonds think? What does Irja think?
Yeah, I can tell you all those things, but like,
well,
I don't want my words. I don't want my words to later be. Here's the thing, Italian. I don't want my words for you to later use my words in a somewhat accurate way, so I don't really want to say anything, honestly. I mean, that's like, I'm not mad at you, but I really get irritated when you say, oh, here's what you said, Tom, and it's not what I said at all. So for that reason, I'm not going to be free as I would be normally with especially what people say. I'm not going to tell you, I guess is what I'm saying, because I don't like what you do with that, with what I say sometimes. And until that improves, I don't feel super open. Now, what I've heard in general is everything you've already stated and heard, is that people are like, yeah, I mean, even I hear people saying like, oh yeah, oh, are we leaving now? It's like, yeah, but honestly, that people are being that open about it, I mean, that's a little less shady, I think, than, that, oh, they're keeping it super secret and they're not telling anybody. Anyway, do you want to comment on that? Do you want to comment on?
Yeah, well, they're
anything
trying to keep it. A lot of those guys are trying to keep it secret. But the problem is they don't know how to shut up, and they keep passing it between each other, and then it ends up in people like my hands. Whereas if you tell me something, I'm not going to go repeat. I might repeat it to you, maybe because we had a miscommunication, or maybe maybe I want to. I don't know. Maybe I want to take you out, or I don't know. I'm not against you.
No,
I don't
think. And here's the thing: I don't think it's malicious. I don't think you're even really misusing it. I just have this. It's like a personal pet peeve of mine. Is like if somebody says, "Oh yeah, you said this," and I didn't say it, even if you don't, perpetuate that to somebody else, it just like, I don't know. It's like a very Tom thing. Like it's like my one main thing is like. And it doesn't. My friends have had trouble with this. It's not like it has to be exactly perfect, but you do have to catch, if you're gonna do it, and it's gonna not irritate the crap out of me. You have to at least catch where I was coming from with it. If you misstate that, we've had a couple of those, and it's been, and honestly, I'm tired right now. I don't remember exactly the specifics, but it was enough that I was like, I don't want to get into this like he said she said game either. Right off the bat, I don't like doing that in general, no matter who. And I will do that in certain circumstances where there's established that will never happen, that they will never misstate what I've said, either by not saying, oh, you said this, or by, if you do say that, which is dangerous with me. Not dangerous like, oh, I'm gonna hurt you, just dangerous like, it's easy to hit my buttons, is what I mean.
That's normal for everybody.
Is it?
Yeah.
I didn't know that.
Yes, we just, I think sometimes personally, I try to cut the words out of it, and sometimes I think that with you taking the time to describe it in more detail is important.
Yeah, you're probably
and
right.
I think it goes back and forth too. I think it goes back and forth between us, and I think we think alike. So sometimes that we rub off on each other like that. But hey, I appreciate you spitting that at me. I mean, that's why I like you, Tom. You're fucking thorough. Anyway, I'm just
catching a fish.
Yeah, no, it's cool. Just in general, the reason I was just chatting you up here is I'm not really. I'm just trying to give you a glimpse of what I'm thinking. And when you give someone a glimpse of what they're thinking, obviously you can't. You're not going to get the full 3-hour lecture of every little detail. So, Bandito spoke. Bandito, man, he's been the same, kind of at the same resolve the whole time. He's ready to jump ship. Like, if I jump ship, he'll jump. He's gone. But I'm not really jumping ship, and I'm not really trying to press you or him to jump ship at all. Like I told Bandito, if you're having fun, you're having fun. If you're not, you're not. And Bandito's somewhere down the line jumping. What I'm trying to explain here is we did talk briefly about you, and I said, Bandito said, well, I don't think Tom would jump ship. And I said, yeah, I don't think he would either, because he's got a really good group of people he's playing with, and it's working out for him. And I said I wouldn't expect you to jump no matter where we go. We consider you a friend. So, I mean, that came out of our conversation. But I don't think I'm not really jumping ship right now. I'm just fucking seeing how it goes. But I'm not writing it off that I won't jump ship, because tell you what, I can't stand War Halo and his screaming and yelling about the stupidest shit, and it gets ridiculous. I mean, I can understand if he has frustrations, but to just outright just be screaming and yelling and not make sense is just fucking ridiculous to me, and it's painful to hear.
Like in PvP, you mean?
Just in general in PvP, I'm not really like completely fond of his style of leading. I've had a few